What's up, guys? It's Techno Viking 23 coming to you today with some Raid Shadow Legends, and we are on the main account. We're gonna have a little fun in Spider 20 today. I wanted to kind of show you guys a neat little composition you can use if you're possibly having trouble getting done with your Arbiter missions to finish the 10 where you have to do Spider 20. We're gonna be trying an HP burn debuff spread strategy here, basically, and it's gonna make use mainly of Geomancer and HAARKEN GREATBLADE, who is a Void Epic Barbarian that a lot of people tend to miss whenever they're going through some of the decent Void champions in the game, especially the Void Epics. So kind of a fun little team we're going to use here today. It's mainly going to be Geomancer putting out his HP burn either on the big spider or on one of the spiderlings, and then HAARKEN GREATBLADE is going to use her A3 to then spread that HP burn to the other spiderlings, and then it's basically just managing the turn meter and tanking the damage from that point forward. We do have 2 cold hearts in here, mainly to control the turn meter on the big spider, give us a little bit of extra damage. There are some alternatives you can use here. Obviously, you could substitute in an Arminger for the cold hearts, any other champion that's going to allow you to do the big single target turn meter control. You could use a Magnar in here, I believe, for the debuff spread. There's a couple of other debuff spread champions in the game, but I just really wanted to showcase HAARKEN GREATBLADE here. You can see we've only got her at level 50. I just wanted to bring her in here on this stage 20 and kind of show off this fun little alternative strategy. You can see there we got a pretty good run on that one, a minute 28. You're going to have anywhere from a minute 30 to about 2 minutes if everything goes as planned. Now, I will warn you ahead of time, this is not a 100% win rate strategy. It will fail from time to time, and it's also, unfortunately, not something that you can auto. I tried to put together a pre-AI team with auto, all that done. I tried forever to get it to work. The problem is on auto, Geomancer will not target the big spider with his HP burn, which would be okay if he puts it on a spiderling and then HAARKEN GREATBLADE would hit it with her debuff spread. But she doesn't do that. She uses that A1 basically, or that A3 basically on the big spider. You can't yet program where you want people's abilities to go. But I did try to program it in, I just couldn't get it to work. So unfortunately this will be a manual only strategy. You will have to babysit it a little bit, but if you are at that stage of the game where you are trying to get through your Arbiter missions on that, beat Spider 20 10 times, this is definitely something that you wouldn't mind autoing because you're just trying to get it finished. And at a minute 30, 2 minutes, it's really not bad. Basically, you're just going to have Syl using her A1 on the big spider to put that speed down and to hopefully get some turn meter decreases here and there. You're going to be using your cold heart or your turn meter champion to use that turn meter decrease. Geo's just there to put out the HP burn on the big spider or one of the spiderlings, and then you're going to use your debuff spreader to spread that then off of that. And then Geo here, he is force affinity, so he's actually going to be tanking the spiderlings for us. That's something you can also try. Say you have a Drexthar Blood Twin, you could bring him in here and just use him as a spider tank. The spiderlings will hit him. They'll get HP burn on them, and you can kill the spider that way. That's actually the way I did it on my free-to-play account because he was the only solid HP burn champion that I had available to me. Geomancer will probably die here a couple of times. That's another reason we have Syl the Drakes in here. She can revive him so he can get back up and continue to tank those spiderlings that have the HP burn on them. And he's pretty tanky, so he can take a couple of hits. We could have his resistance a little bit higher here. You see he is resisting some of these poisons, but not all of them. But it would be nice to be able to resist all of them. And that's, again, another strategy. You can bring in a Drexthar Blood Twin with very high resistance, where he just continues to get hit with the spiderlings, resists all the poisons, heals himself, and basically kills the spider that way all on his own. But again, this is just kind of something neat, kind of unique, a little bit different. I thought we would give it a shot. Geomancer is a really cool champion. He also does have a pretty big turn meter decrease on the Quicksand Grasp when he puts out the HP burn, so that's also going to be very helpful in the spider. So even if you're not using him solely as an HP burner, you can use him to also reduce the turn meter on the big spider to kind of help you control her, and if you're using the HP burn, to keep that HP burn going there. So kind of a fun little strategy I wanted to bring to the table, give you guys an option if you're looking for another way to take on Spider 20. I'm sure there's some smarter people out there who could probably take this and make it auto or make it 100% or do something different with it. And like I said, it'd be kind of cool to bring in other champions like a Magnar here, but unfortunately I do not have a Magnar on my main account. Of all the champions I'm missing, it's actually him. I do have him on my free-to-play, but at this point I've already got a 10-second Spider 20 farm on that account using Ragnar Gold Gleam and a couple of Cold Hearts and a Royal Guard, so I don't really need something like this. That's why I like to do this stuff on the main account, because I have all the resources to build this stuff and kind of showcase it a little bit. Since I am part of the content creator program, I do get those content creator rewards, and I like to put those to use. Showing off some of these champions, and also because I've just recently finished building Geomancer, mainly to use in the Hydra. That's where a lot of people are showing him off right now. But he's a great Hydra champion, great clan boss champion. You can use him against a lot of the Doom Tower bosses. And so I wanted to also kind of show off a little bit here that you can use him in Spider 20. He's got a lot of utility here between the HP burn. The decreased accuracy is also nice when you put that out there and it's on those spiderlings. They can miss some of those poisons, which is pretty cool. And again, just an overall very solid champion I wanted to kind of show you guys. So I will let the rest of the run play here, and then you guys will be able to see the gear and the champions once this is all over. Alright, so here we are in the champion roster. I thought we'd jump in here, take a look at the champions that we used in the Spider 20 run, so you guys can kind of get an idea of how the gear is and everything on them. So of course we do have Syl of the Drakes, probably the best free-to-play champion you get in this game, one of the better legendaries in the game, champion that you can just use throughout the game, no matter what stage you're in. And my Syl's in kind of a pretty standard Relentless build with a little bit of speed gear, and that's mainly because I do use her in hard Doom Tower, and I need her to be pretty quick. I know some people like to run her in a stun set, which is also a viable way to go with her if you want to use her abilities there to keep the enemy crowd control, but I do like her in Relentless. It lets her take a lot of extra turns, and she does actually do a ton of healing for me because of that. She winds up being one of my bigger healers in some of the battles that I use her in. But you can kind of see here we've got 231 speed. You don't need that much. Spider 20, just as long as you're above like 205, between 205 and 210, you should be fine. 80% crit rate, 144 crit damage, nothing really special there. Accuracy 323. Again, I use her in hard Doom Tower, so I need her accuracy to be a little bit higher. If you're going to use her in Spider 20, if you want to try to land the stun on her AoE, 250 should be fine. 225, somewhere in that range. She's got 44,000 health, 3,200 defense. These numbers could all be a little bit better, but again, we just kind of have her in some general build there. And then her Masteries, just pretty standard. We go down to War Master there, since we do use her in a lot of boss fights. Alright, moving down, I actually do have a couple of Geomancers on this account, and I will be building a third one for the Hydra, but I believe we were using Geomancer number 2 here. You can take a look at his Masteries real quick there, but then we can go into his gear. I do have him in a deflection set, just kind of having a little bit of fun with that, and we have a divine speed set up top to give him a little bit of speed and a little bit of self-shield there. And just looking at his stats, 53,000 HP. He is pretty tanky. You're going to need him to be pretty tanky if you run him in Spider 20, since he is that negative affinity. He's going to get targeted. His defense could be a little bit higher. I need to get that a little bit up there, especially since we are using him in the Hydra. You see there 207. Like I said, we just needed him to go fast enough to work in Spider 20. And also, we want him fast enough to go before our debuff spreader is the other big thing there. Crit rate I didn't really worry about. Crit damage, didn't worry about that either. A little bit of resistance, not enough to resist the poisons on the spiders. You could build that a little bit higher if you wanted to specifically use him just for the Spider 20 tank. And then his accuracy is, right around what you would need for level 20 to 25 dungeon. Really nothing special there on Geomancer. So you can kind of see there how he is built. And then, of course, we do have 4 built Cold Hearts on this account that I use mainly for my Spider 20 farm, and also, obviously, in other areas for some turn meter. And, my Cold Hearts are basically just built a little bit of accuracy to land. 70% crit rate's all you need, and then a little bit of crit damage. We do have 210 speed on this one Cold Heart, and that's to kind of get her to go out first. So she's landing that first turn meter reduction. As you saw, we spaced out the Heart Seekers to kind of keep the turn meter down. Just to give you an idea on her Masteries there, you can take a look at those. And we do have Cold Heart number 2, who is built a little bit differently, probably because her gear wasn't the best when I put her together. We'll we'll revisit those at some point. And you can see here she is 228, so she's actually the one who was going first before, and then the other Cold Heart would hang on to her Heartseeker for later on. But these are all basically built. I run 4 Cold Hearts with Lydia for my Spider 20 team. It's about 9 seconds. Lydia throws out decreased defense and weaken, and then all 4. Usually it only takes about 3, but all 4 Cold Hearts will hit their Heartseeker and wipe out the Spider. I used to use a Septimus and 3 Cold Hearts, but when I got a 4th one, I just built it. I just have a little bit of fun with her because she's kind of a really cool character. And then finally, we do have HAARKEN GREATBLADE. She's a really interesting Void character. One of the reasons I did want to do this video with her was I think she's a character not too many people really use. There are other debuff spreaders you could use for this purpose, but I kind of like using her just because she's more of a unique champion. Not a lot of people highlight her, so I wanted to feature her in this video. And we did only take her to level 50. I don't believe she has any books either, so kind of a very low budget option here if you pull her off of a Void Shard. We did put her in a reflex set just to try to get that ability to spread the debuffs back a little bit quicker if that does proc. And then we just put her in some, I think these are speed boots. And I think I just threw her in whatever I had that was laying around that I didn't care to use on anybody else. So she got our crit rate set, which again, we're probably not really going to use that on anybody. No Masteries at all. I haven't done anything with this champion in Books Masteries other than give her her gear and then just put her on this team to spread those HP burns. You saw we could spread them either off the Spiderlings or off the big spider there, and she doesn't even have a ring here. I didn't feel like it was worth it to even throw that on there. She does have 156 accuracy, 228 resistance. This is just kind of whatever the build gave her. 191 speed. We want her to be slower than our Geomancer or whoever's putting out that single HP burn, so then she comes in, uses that A3 and spreads the HP burn to as many people as possible. So that's kind of just a look at her there. Obviously, if she gets hit by anybody, she's going to die, as you saw a couple times there in the footage from the spider battle. But that's pretty much how we put that little team together. Again, not something you're going to be using all the time. This is mainly just an alternative strategy that you might be able to use if you're struggling to get through Spider 20. Obviously, you may have to substitute some other turn meter champions for Cold Heart. You may use a Magnar for this. You know, there's a lot of different options you can use for it, and that's honestly why I wanted to highlight. So I like to do content that's a little bit more unique, maybe offers you a solution to a problem you're having in the game, whether you're early or mid-game and you're still trying to get through that Spider 20 mission for your Arbiter. You have to manual it, so if you only have to do it 10 times, that's fine. You know, it's no big deal. You just want to get it done, get it finished so you can move on and get your Arbiter. So hopefully this will help you out if you have these champions or champions very similar to it. Just gives you an alternate solution that hopefully you'll find helpful. As always, guys, if you have any questions about anything you saw in the video, feel free to leave it down below in the comments. I'll do my best to get you an answer as soon as I can. As always, hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks as always for watching, and I will see you again next time.